Hi everyone, Jan is signing in. Welcome to another video. I will show you the refining process of this pine and the following repotting on a slab from our production. It will be the third iteration for the Scots pine, third wiring and styling. I got this tree about 6 years ago as a raw nursery stock. I repotted the pine into a cheap concrete training pot and set the initial design back then. After about 2 years I made a second styling. I improved some lines in the main branches, and after a couple of years in this training pot the pine produced a lot of new growth and ramified significantly. As you can see, the concrete pot did not survive the harsh winters here in the Central Europe. But I have to say it did a great job in these past 6 years. It was the proper size, not overly heavy, with big drainage holes, and helped to develop the root ball of the spine. Kudos to it. I improved the angle a bit with the wooden prop as it was leaning too much to the left though. But it is not such a big deal. I removed a few old wires as the old wiring would start to bite too much during the season. Notice how my left hand protects the branch from uncontrolled twists and shakes and provides stability. I always remove the wires in this way, almost never cut the wire on the branches. After that I put a new wire. It is a never-ending story in bonsai. Wire on, wire off, and wire on again. I started to wire and style the tree from the lowest branch all the way up, one after the other. Here I applied the steel guide wire. The heavy and long character branch needed some support, and I wanted to improve the overall line of this branch also. I pulled the guide wire and set up the position for this one. Here you can see the initial look of the character branch. And here is the look after minor changes and touches and adjustments. I continued fluently into the mid portion of the tree with the wiring and styling. So far I did not remove a single branch from the tree, just a little bit of needle cleaning and few little twigs went out. I continued with the wiring. As you can see, I recycled the used aluminum. It is not as elegant and clean as wiring with copper or fancy black coated aluminum, I know. If I had just a small collection of a few trees, I would definitely choose copper. But for me, it is a constant flow of new trees which I work with. I would end up with too much waste and wire accumulation very quickly. So I sacrificed the look a little bit and got used to recycling the aluminum. Here in the apex area, I needed to reduce the number of branches. There were multiple branches in the same location, and some of them were too long. I would end up with too broad and dome-like apex. There was also not enough space for the proper development of each branch in the future. Then I continued with the wiring and styling all the way up. And now the repotting. I'm used to working alone on even quite big trees, but if you are not confident enough or the tree is too heavy for you, ask for a helper. I always start by clipping the wires on the bottom. I also prune the roots which started to escape the pot. Thanks to the open shape of the pot, the tree popped out very easily, without any force, but very often it is not like that. The pine developed a nice compact root ball over the years. I started to remove the surface layer gently with the hook. Try to work always as gently as possible while working with roots. I work systematically on the entire surface layer. The goal is to remove the solid layer of the soil and reach the deeper layers because this root ball will need some improvements. Then I work the sides, always gently and systematically with no rush. It is a good idea to approach the repotting with a good mood and a calm mind. Make yourself comfortable. Good repotting needs a certain flow. It is very easy to panic, make bad decisions and ruin the tree. Don't let anybody disturb you. After I worked the sides, I started to remove the bottom mat. Sometimes it's unbelievable how many spiraling roots you will find there. But it is normal and the entire mat needs to be completely removed. After I worked the surface and the sides and removed the mat, I came back and started to work on the improvements of the root ball. I needed to remove the long crossing root in the front of the tree. But first I need to be sure where it starts and how prominent it is. I also sprayed the root ball lightly and covered it with a wet rag as the temperature increased in the greenhouse environment. I continued to explore the root ball and made the adjustments. After that, I lightly pruned and shortened the fine roots and removed some thick unwanted roots. I prepared the slab and all materials in advance before I started to work with the roots. Here I am creating the rim from a mixture of a river mat and akadama, mixed roughly 50-50. Adding a nice thick layer of a new substrate, a mixture of pumice, fine basalt gravel and akadama in this case. Then I place the tree on the little hill of the substrate and position it. I also make sure the tree sits nicely on the substrate and there are no empty air pockets underneath. The rest is filling of the root ball with the new mixture and chopsticking. I drilled 2 additional holes in order to add the wire and pull down the root that was sticking out. final touches of the mixture, and then I will place the tree out in the garden and bury the root ball into mulch bark temporarily. This is all for this episode. Thanks for watching and bye for now. Jan is signing off.